how are we all doing today? This is Temierus here, and today I have Hex Empire 3 Revival of Destruction. It's just called Hex Empire 3 on Steam. This is quite loud. In case my raised voice does not suggest anything, though I do quite often just raise my voice for no reason. Cat, why are you sucking on the blanket? I looked around because I was curious why it was called Hex Empire 3. I'm going to turn my headphones down so I don't have to keep yelling. That'd probably be a good idea, seeing as how I normally turn down game audio when I go to edit these. But I looked around to see why this was 3, because that's just to me that it's the third installment in the Hex Empire series. I couldn't find anything on Steam, and the reason why is the first 2 Hex Empires are like Newgrounds games. That's a name I haven't heard in a long while. So looking at some of the screenshots and the little opener, it basically seems like it is the progression of an idea that was somewhat successful on those sites. I only say somewhat because I don't actually know how successful it was. They seem decently rated. That's about all I have to go with. We're going to go ahead and hit start as I keep sitting here rambling to try and figure out things to say. There's no campaign or multiplayer because this is early access, so it's got development to go on, so we're just going to go ahead and do a skirmish, and I think we'll go with this one, and we'll have no time limit, and we'll leave it on normal. Let's show the tutorial, leave it on turns. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we have to choose our nation. It can either be Bulgaria, Vietnam, Redoisia, Greenland. This thing seems a bit off. Amberica, or Turkmenistan. I'm going to go with Turkmenistan. I quite often like that color. We are so fabulous, it's just unfair that the whole world doesn't yet belong to us. We're going to fix it in the name of justice. Turkmenistan for the win. Everybody needs somebody to hate. Wait for your turn. For more dynamic gameplay, try the sync mode. We're not doing the sync mode yet since I have no idea what's going on in the game and I don't want to have my ass royally handed to me immediately. Well, this is an interesting development. It appears by being Turkmenistan that put us at the back of the turn order. Our objective is to capture the flags of the enemies and defend your one. So we only have one. How? Look, this is your capital. Your flag is kept there. There is also your army. Where is our capital? Is my capital Copenhagen? Or is it Majuro? I don't know which of these is my capital. There it is! It's all the way over here on the edge of the screen. In Asuncion? I think? Not sure. Now click on the army. You can pan the map while holding down the left mouse button, or you can also edge scroll, like an old-fashioned person, like I just did. Okay, that was a fabulous click. Why, thank you. This game really does positive reinforcement. It clearly shows your strong leadership skills. I mean, it has nothing to do with the game is supposed to be all the players are incredibly ruthless dictators. It would have nothing to do with that. The people love me because they choose to love me. The highlighted fields are the possible destinations for your army. First of all, you should capture some cities, towns, ports, or factories. Choose a destination for your army. Well, I have many a port here, and in the wise words of Themistocles, he who controls the sea has command of everything. So I believe this is telling me to capture it. It's a good idea to split your army in the first round so you can capture a larger area quickly. Okay. We'll send half there. You can move your armies a limited number of times per round. You can start with 4 action points, but you can earn more by conquering other nations. You can conquer a nation by capturing a field where its flag is kept, Remember, you lose the game when you lose your flag. There are two types of armies, infantry and artillery. The numbers you see on the army's symbols are their power. Power is number of units multiplied by morale. You'll read more about that later. Infantry can engage in close-up battles. Just move infantry to a field occupied by an enemy army and a battle will ensue. A more powerful army will always win a battle, but it will receive damage depending on power of an opponent. You will receive recruits for your infantry every round in cities, towns, and ports as long as you have enough funds. Artillery is capable of ranged attacks. You can't move it on a field occupied by an enemy army, but you can bomb it when it's within the range. A field is flashing red. Also, you have 2 nukes per game that you can shot with your artillery. Your factories will produce artillery every round as long as you have enough funds. Power of every army is affected by morale. Your armies lose morale when you lose land. Your enemies gain morale when you capture enemy areas. The more valuable land is, the more morale you lose or gain. Your morale may quickly deteriorate when you give up urban areas or farmlands. It's extremely important to keep your morale high and any morale low. Some types of fields give you income. After every turn, you have to manage your budget to maintain armies and get new reinforcements. Maintenance budget has impact on your army's morale. If your morale and funds get low, you become endangered by famine. Different types of fields get different amounts of income reinforcements, but they also impact the movement. Your armies will move quicker. Wow, it is just putting everything immediately off the start. I mean, it's all right. Part of the reason why I wanted to go through the tutorial segment of this strategy game is just recently because Paradox was doing their PDX-Con. They had a big sale. I got the Hearts of Iron 4 deal, and it highlighted a problem that I'm seeing as a very alarming problem in strategy games, particularly the 4X strategy games. 4X strategy notoriously keeps being marketed and kept with people that play and like 4X strategy games. With that, strategy games, especially 4X strategy games, have had incredibly weak tutorials. Like Hearts of Iron 4, their tutorial was, it just started up a game. Like, it started up a game that you would normally start up. It just had you stare as Italy, so you get straight into some action. And it just told you, okay, there's these notifications you have, clear them. And then when you ask about it, it just says, oh, click here to go to the Hearts of Iron 4 wiki. Well, then you click on a more relevant thing, and it's just like, oh, this is the research screen. You research things here. Click on this to go read the Hearts of Iron 4 wiki. And that's what all the tutorial was. It would just tell you what the screen was you were looking at. Read the wiki. Read the wiki. Oh, this screen's a factory screen. Read the wiki. This screen's the army screen. Read the wiki. And it's like, other games have tutorials where you actually go through it. Like, Civ is a game that's actually pretty good at the tutorial because it actually has you go through the tutorial to figure things out. There's so many 4X strategy games, the player base is not growing, and I really honestly believe that some of it is because the 4X strategy games are really taking the piss to help educate your players. I'm not expecting it to tell me every minutia detail of how the game wants to work, but I would like it if the tutorial flat out tells you how to play the game without being told, oh, just go read the wiki for it. Anyway, that's a big rant about 4X strategy games, which it sucks because I am often a fan of the strategy games, so I always hate to see it doing that. Okay, seas can be excellently through ports and ships. Blah. Well, fields good for seas and deserts are damaged by warfare until they become wastelands. I don't know what I said there. I just fat-lipped. The perks damaged fields are reduced. You can always check the condition of the field by hovering it. Nukes cause radioactive contamination. Such areas are deadly dangerous for your armies. In case of trouble, you can sign pacts, select a nation to become your ally. They won't attack you, but you can attack them too. Give a speech. This will instantly max out your morale for 2 turns. You can only use it once. Or move your flag. 3 times per game, you can move your flag to a safer area. You can move a flag only to urban areas you own. Now go ahead, conquer the world. Remember, you have to capture all the enemy flags to win. You lose instantly when an enemy captures your flag. The game progress is automatically saved. You can always quit and continue later. Nice. Okay. So, would appear that I can't move the people that I've already mobilized. So we will do that. It's time to make some important decisions. You can probably leave the parameters as they are for now, but you will have to adjust them later in the course of war. Okay. We can mess with our maintenance budget. Oh wow, we are bleeding money right now. Real badly. We will just leave it there right now. We are going to need more funds, but we have ports, which seas are very good at helping to generate trade and income. Appears we got some combat going on over here. Oh, it looks as they already have artillery units. Why do I get artillery units? I haven't been informed how I'm supposed to get new units. How does one get more units? Oh no. These are all zoom controls. Sign the pact, help. Speech of the people. Oh god. That just plays through everything we already did. Go away. Okay. Right. I do not believe we are in the best position we could be. We're going to send some expeditionary force over there. They are coming up on our doorstep, so we are going to have to reinforce. And I think we're going to do that. Everybody's going to move there by doing this. We can leave only minor forces back at home because we have our ports very secure. Actually, we are going to mobilize a small expedition over there to simply watch ourselves at the moment. We don't have any factories, that's why we can't produce those. We're going to go down to 75% right now. Really, all we need to do is try and just build up and fortify. That's the goal I'm shooting for right now. It's fortifications. Okay, they are right on top of us trying to threaten us. I do not take kindly to that. Fortunately, we can't rotate the camera to actually see the enemy there. What we are going to do is send a small force there, split in half there. I don't want to move too quickly, otherwise we'll be overrun. But we are going to have to send more of our forces out to here. I may be putting too many of my eggs in one basket, but I am feeling risky. We'll reinforce that. Okay. We are still hemorrhaging, excuse me, money. So if I do this, I think our morale is going to be hurt. It's going to help the money situation only slightly. How far down can we take this? So there we're at least not losing funds, but... Oh, I don't like that. We're only going to do this for one turn. Because they seem to be fighting the crap out of each other right now. Blue looks like they'll be a bit of a problem, but they may be overextending themselves. And over there, red's just being island nation. Okay, it is our turn. Yellow has continued to just leave those forces there, and I don't like the look of this build-up here. We need to try and unite our forces to deal with blue, because they are expanding too fast. So let's see if we can have a non-aggression pact with America. Ah, it succeeded. Excellent. Okay. Perhaps this shall lead to great things. We are going to utilize these guys, all of them, to capture us some additional farmland. Because we are going to need to feed our people. Now is when we're going to start showing our hand, though. And move right up on Bulgaria's little push for power here. Okay. So with that in mind, do we launch an invasion? I don't seem to be able to launch an invasion at the moment. This may be a problem. Okay, we can at least bring our maintenance budget back up to full and still be making money. So if we just take a bit more territory, we'll be able to start pulling up our enrollments. Which I think the only way that we're really going to be able to do that is we're going to have to deal with these guys. Especially because they have industrial capacities out here. And I really want to take care of that. Nice! And Baraka is doing what I hoped they would. Okay. Oh, it's our turn. I missed that. So what we're going to do... Oh my god, I wish I could go there because that is so undefended. Why am I not allowed to attack Bulgaria? What? What? But I'm not in a pact with them. Why can I not invade? Why can I not invade these greener pastures? There we go. Now we can push up some military spending. That's going to help us. Luckily, we were able to defend that attack. So now they attacked us. Am I allowed to attack them now? I really don't understand why it was not letting me attack them. I wanted to be leading that charge there. I guess we'll just lead the charge for this factory district in the south. You assholes. Now we can do our naval invasion. Excellent. And now we'll bring these guys up to the front. Just kind of have a buildup of power there. We're now able to produce artillery. I want that ramped up. Alright, it's our turn again. Luckily, Bulgaria did not even bother attempting a counterattack on us, because they know the power of Turkmenistan. I, however, want to seize these lands from them, because how dare they have those lands. Engage in a ranged attack. I assume this is the ranged attack button? That was the nuclear option. Okay. Why would you put the nuclear option first? Well, somebody else has gone nuclear. At least it's not just me. Alright, I'm going to seize this factory district before America has the chance. Because god damn it, this is a war I wanted to start, and I'll be damned if you finish it for me. Move everybody. How am I supposed to seize those lands from them? You won't let me, game. Why will you not take those lands from them? It's not theirs anymore. Oh, Rhodesia has been conquered by Greenland. We express some deep distress. Sure we do. Okay. So now we just start pumping some damage on these guys. That's what I think we start doing. We'll mobilize these people to the woods. These guys can go ahead and continue seizing that. I just don't like seeing the blue there. It's very unsettling. I cannot pass by the mountain. And even though we have non-aggression pacts, we do not have treaties to allow passage through each other. So that is at least a bit annoying. But we can transfer some forces from the homeland to the front lines, and then we can get this ball rolling. Well, somebody nuked right on top of us. There goes another nuke. My God, we're about to have a nuclear winter. This is not faring well for this, whatever this world's called. So I can do a push south to Rabat here, which I am wholeheartedly going to do, which is going to give me a nice position to place my artillery. And we use this small force to reinforce. And now up north we have some issues because that's all stuck. So I'm actually going to leave it there because I have no idea how long this pact will last. I don't know if it's for the whole game or if there's an expiration date on it. Oh my God, I didn't realize there was all that to the north. I am going to go north. So they've tried to attack us in Rabat. It ended quite poorly for them, as it expectedly would have. I'm not going to have these guys join up. They're just going to go near. And we are going to go ahead and thin out these forces here. I could just push through, but that might overextend ourselves a bit. Because Amberica is trying to come around the desert there. But the purples are getting in the way. I forget what they're called. Interesting times. Interesting times indeed. Okay, so a very interesting development has been made because Bulgaria has retreated their flag down to Nuk, down here in the south, which is leaving their original capital and quite large city open for the taking. And I'm going to say don't mind if'n I do. Try to do some thinning out of the hordes. And let's just go ahead and seize that from them. They don't need that anymore. And form a defensive line. Alright. I'm not going to forget about my play in the north. Send those troops up on their way. And I should probably start pulling these guys down to more active areas. Because all they're doing is just sucking money from my budget. I probably actually start turning down spending because, well, unlike these other guys that are constantly fighting each other, I'm not really losing anybody. Because I am fighting war in an intelligent manner, which is to be a bit conservative about it. Because that's kind of one thing that you will find is a recurring theme in war, which is that most people doing the war are advocating, let's just not do that at all. I think we can push through. We didn't get the whole way through. So yeah, I'm going to reduce spending because we don't need a budget that large. And all I have to really do is just have stabilizer just drip out money from there because you don't actually do anything with the money. It's just when it's out, you're in trouble. As long as there's $1, you're fine. Well, we've had an interesting development, and as far as I can tell by how the game wants to work, we're pretty much done. The victory conditions have not been met, but I see no real way to enter my allies' borders to potentially assist my ally over here, except for I don't see the ally pop up anymore. So is it just gone? Are we just no longer allies? Okay, I guess we're just no longer allies. Never mind, folks. I'm fake news. Turns out we can keep going. Alright. I mean, I was under the impression that we ended up stuck because I couldn't move through him, so it was done. But apparently you can just break the treaties, and I'm not sure how or why it happened. But the reason that I was mentioning that is because we were stuck, because I can't move through. The only other guy to fight is through him, so I was just kind of sitting in back, just twiddling my thumbs about. And we are going to bulldoze that, because if we've broken these treaties, we are going to go full ham on it, buddy. You'd better believe it. So the artillery struck at the capital that we see, so let's just go ahead and take that away from them. They don't need any artillery anymore. They really don't. Really what I need to do... Oh, I could actually cut them off in the middle here. Because this is a sizable force. So let's go ahead and move that to the border. And unite that with that. That way I can have quite the push. I'm not going to worry about that small crew there. They can't really do anything to me. All I have to do is go off conquesting. Yes. Yes, indeed. Don't worry, our budget it'll stabilize itself. Don't you worry. The treaty's been broken. They're going to learn the error of that. Okay, so we captured some factory production there in Oslo. I'm going to reinforce that city. And we're going to put sizable forces there just in case they try to sneak through. And let's go ahead and seize the support from them. And there we go, our budget's now stabilizing, so I can start putting more funding into more troops, because we're going to need to start slowly doing that as we gain more and more territory. Luckily, these two guys seem to just be beating the shit out of each other, so I can just slowly advance through on the rear, which I'm fine with. I have no issues with this. I should start building up to deal with the south before that turns into a problem, though. Fools actually tried to attack us. They failed miserably, of course. Okay. So let's weaken these up a bit. So they only put up token resistance. There we are. They can't quite make it over there. We'll just put them in a threatening position. Don't worry, our budget will do fine. You see, there is a very tactical error that Greenland has done here. Yes, they are throwing this massive force straight up here north, but they've left all of this completely undefended, so I can just brush all of this resistance aside like it's nothing. Which I'm going to start by dealing with Amberica, because they are embarrassingly in the way. I attempted a pun there, and it seemed to have failed horribly. Okay, so what we are doing now, we're giving off our promising speech here, which appears to be, it's amazing how some encouraging words of a charismatic leader can boost morale in a crowd. Anyway, empathy slogans wear out quickly, so this trick will work only once per game. Go for it! Because what we're going to do is we're about to just completely screw with the budget, because there is now only one opposition standing before us, and that is the armies of Greenland here. And all we have to do is wear them down until eventually we can just grab out a victory with minimal effort. Contrary to, say, Deadpool's maximum effort. And we're going to use this time to just max out our war industry. So we'll just go and reclaim that because they feel that that's going to slow me down much. It's not. Put that there, so we're ready to deal with that. We'll deal out an artillery strike on that. Well, we did lose. I actually know fair reasons why, but they're reasons that I don't think are in the scope of a game like this, because the game is meant for simplicity rather than complexity. Because basically all we did was the whole build-up industry, but you can't tell it's just build-up industry while you're not at war, which is exactly what you can do. And in history, we've shown that's exactly what works in world wars. I mean, that's partly the reason why American jumping in both world wars was a big deal, because you had the guys that were just industrially building shit, and then it's like, oh, by the way, we chose a side and we're going to involve ourselves now. It was a much bigger impact in 2 than it was in 1. I mean, 2 was really just a continuation of 1 anyway. But, you know, that's fine. I mean, it also didn't boil down to the fact of I had absolutely no idea how it was working with the treaty thing. I didn't realize that by doing the treaty thing meant that we had to basically sit out the game, because the treaty comes with, we won't attack you, but it doesn't come with open borders or assisted attacks. So, yeah, that's a thing. I mean, it's basically a flash game. It looks a lot better than one of those, but I don't know if the game's $10. It's not the worst game out there. It's absolutely not the worst game. These thoughts should not be just because, you know, we lost. But there's, of course, some reasonings as to why I think things happen that way. There was also just a thing of right there at the end when they were coming in, it was just they drop a unit that had like 400, and then they would end the turn and suddenly it was at 900. And I never at all had anything that ever did that. They weren't even sitting on a city, they were sitting out here in some woodlands. And it just went from 300, there was nothing around, they didn't have anything to throw into it, and it just went up to 900. And I'm not sure why it did that, but it did that. So, I mean, it's a simple strategy game. There's things in it that don't make sense. Like this whole mountain thing, this whole territory grab thing didn't make sense. The nuke option, why would you put the nuke as the first button? The first button should be the default attack button. Then your second button should be your nuke button. That's just what I'm saying. So, yeah, it's strategy but simple, I guess.